we are actually almost close to meeting the nominees of Kalinga and Bayan. Are you excited for that? Yeah. So later we'll introduce them to you. But so we can just kindly ask everybody to just make your way to your seats. That will be great. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to ask for a little bit of more of your patience. So now that the program has resumed, we'll be providing with more information about GK. So may I ask, who knows GK? Do you know, have you been following GK? Who are supporters of GK here? I see Rafi Fabregas raise his hand, right? Okay. So I want everyone to be honest who's here. Who has not heard of GK or GK Canada or Gawad Kalinga? Okay, I like that honesty. Anybody else? Don't be shy. It's not a test, everybody. You do not get a prize. You still get dessert. You still get dessert. That's the prize. Who doesn't know anything about GK? Okay, that's great. Thank you for being honest too. But we want to introduce you actually to this gentleman here from the Philippines. So we'll tell you more about GK shortly. But we're just going to ask you to watch this quick message.
Good evening everyone. Mapagkalingang gabi po sa inyong lahat. I'm actually in a GK community here in Ormoc, Leyte. I'm in a GK house that is about to be finished, and I will be spending the night here, spending time with the community. We're actually literally on a road trip around the country. We started March 6th and we hope to finish by the end of August. So we're done with Luzon. That's March and April. Right now we are in the Visayas area. This is part of our overall thrust to reconnect with those who have brought GK to where it is today. And that includes all of you. And as we continue to celebrate Gawad Kalinga's 2 decades of community building for thousands of disadvantaged communities, we extend our sincere gratitude to all GK Canada advocates, past and present. Your support to the mission of ending poverty has changed the trajectory of thousands of families towards a future full of hope. However, the Philippines is going through challenges that were not as dire as when we started GK 2 decades ago, such as malnutrition and low level of functional literacy among a large number of young Filipinos. For instance, the government recently released a report that shows only 0.4% of grade 12 students are proficient in terms of their school learning. By the year 2050, Philippines will become one of the youngest demographics, with around 66% belonging to the working age. This would be a promising economic advantage only if we take care of our young poor today. That's why we enjoin all of you there in GK Canada to support our GK 2050 campaign, where we continue to build communities towards zero poverty, zero exclusion, and net zero carbon. And we need to make sure that we give the millions of young Filipinos a fighting chance in the future. And at the same time, we invite you to take an active role in developing, mentoring, and journeying with the next generation of Gawad Kalinga leaders. What you have started in GK have become solid stepping stones for our young leaders to propel the mission of GK to new frontiers. Maraming salamat po at walang iwanan.
Thank you very much. So we're just going to introduce a little bit more about GK, but we'd like to call on our chairman. Please welcome Mr. Pidoy Passes.
Okay. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Well, I don't know. It's good when you are working with a lot of professional people and they just pick you up and say you have to say something. And I'm glad to be here with you tonight, and I'm glad that you're supporting Gawad Kalinga. We have been here for 16 short years, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for your support. We have our founding member here, actually in the room. We're honoring one of them, Tita Albitan. passed away, one of our founding member, and we have Agnes Manasan, also our founding member, and also Annie Kalinga, who has been our founding member 16 years, Gawad Kalinga. And Gawad Kalinga has been a support to the Philippines, and we have built numerous homes. We have supported Aral project in the Philippines, the library project that has been spearheaded by Tita Elby actually and Agnes Manasan. And we also are in the feeding program also in the Philippines. So there's a lot that we have been supporting. The envelope you will see in front of the table, you see a love envelope, right? So kung titignan nyo yun, naka-yellow yun, may pangalan love. Ano ibig sabihin ng love? Pagmamahal. Right, so when you talk about it, I'll take this opportunity. If you want to support Gawad Kalinga, all I'm asking you, and I hope this is not too big to ask, is at least to invest $10 each person and put that in front of our love offering. That is specifically to support the ARA project in the Philippines. And if all of us here, 12 tables, will just put $10 here, we probably can help 10 scholars in the Philippines. Di ba malaking tulong yan? Anong $10 sa atin? McDonald's, di ba? Anong $10 sa atin? Maybe Starbucks. Pero ang $10 sa Pilipinas could already send somebody into either high school or college. I would like to encourage each one and every person on the table you see, please at least give $10 to support our project in the Philippines. The Inang Bayan, right? Spearheaded by Giselle and Monique.
Everybody.
Pero silang mouthpiece namin, di ba? This is, when they brought in the concept of Inang Bayan, it really signified and intertwined with Gawad Kalinga. If you notice, Kalinga means giving care. Di ba? Mga Filipino tayo, di ba? Tagalog, giving care. Ina means giving care to their kids. Feeding appropriate for the evening tonight. So tonight we're going to honor one of the best and probably honor the most, probably, Ina ng Bayan. Will be the first time that we're going to launch this. And by the way, I am overwhelmed by the kind of support that you have. If you notice our souvenir program, first time in the history of 56 pages. Dati, hanggang 10 to 8 pages lang kami. Nag-iirap kayo. Ngayon, 56 pages, hindi pa nakasingit yung iba doon. So I would like to say thank you to you, to the Ina and Bayan nominees, right? And candidates who really work so hard to bring people here today. It's an incredible way of being passionate about giving care not only to your family, but giving care to the poor in the Philippines. I'm going to end this up. The Philippines needs your help right now. We are in a crisis in the Philippines. Alam niyo yun, di ba? Nandun kayo. If you go open your YouTube, your channel right now, we are in crisis right now. Leadership crisis, economic crisis, lahat ng crisis nandun sa Pilipinas ngayon. So I will end up with one word with you today. While we are blessed to be here, yung mga kababayan natin sa Pilipinas has to suffer that crisis right now. And the best we can do to support them is through our prayers and to give it back in our own small way. Help one or two or three people to elevate their life from poverty to the next level. So again, magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta niyo dito ngayong gabi. Kayo sana, lahat ng pamilya niyo, kamag-anak niyo, and all of the things, your business will prosper so that next year we can grow our numbers. And I would like to say thank you to all our judges for Inang Bayan, to all our board of directors for Gawad Kalinga. Thank you for believing in us, and for all our supporters. Maraming salamat po. Asahan ko yung $10 nyo. Isa doon sa yellow na yun. By the way, may camera ako nilagay din sa table nyo. Malalaman ko kung sino yung hindi nagbigay, papadala ko kayo ng notice after this. Pwede na kayo sa bahay, kasi kami sa inyo lahat, mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you very much, Shubido. So once again, we thank you in advance for your generosity. But in the meantime, we just wanted to mention if you've heard about the nominees. So have you had a chance to look at our souvenir program? Yes. Yes, right? Isn't it so colorful? First off, we want to thank all the sponsors who actually supported our nominees today. So we just want to clarify one thing to everyone. This is not a competition. Ang Ina ng Bayan is not a pageant. We don't have a tiara for you. We don't have, there is no swimsuit portion, just to let you know, okay? I know the nominees were looking forward to it, right, Tita? We don't have a talent show. I know. Someone, magtatambling sana dito. Someone was gonna do cartwheels, right? We're not doing that, okay? And their favorite question and answer. Oh, you know, Judge Josie De Leon knows all about that, right? But you know what? We don't have a Q&A. And why don't we have any of that? Because we wanted to give the opportunity for anyone to nominate their Ina ng Bayan. As we mentioned, Ina for the non-Filipinos means mother or mom or mama, right? So, of course, it's just Mother's Day, right? Last week, so that's why we have the Ina ng Bayan. But as we mentioned earlier, you can nominate anyone. Even for next year, this will continue on. It doesn't have to be your mom. It can be your grandma, your auntie, your sister, you know, your tita, who's always taking care of everyone, okay? And the nominees again, let's give them a round of applause, everyone. Because if it wasn't for them, the funds raised tonight were all from all of you who are here to support the nominees and for putting a sponsorship ad, donating at the gkcanada.org website right there. And it's because of you and buying a ticket, we were able to raise funds. And later on, we will tell you if we have a number, or later on, we'll tell you. And by the way, if you go to gkcanada.org, all of the financials are all transparent. 90% of all the nomination goes back to the Philippines, 10% stays here for administrative purposes, okay? Because we have to pay taxes too. And we're board, by the way, as a board of director, guess what? We pay for our tickets too, okay? So, I know we're doing this for the love of GK, all right?
Jeff Tan is here.
Yes, if you can,
Say a
please.
few words, Jeff. It's Tita Elvie's son.
Everybody, let's give Jeff a big hand.
Thank you everybody for coming tonight. It's a great honor to present this award, on behalf of, in honor of my mom. It was impossible to work with my mom and not be unchanged. You know, anybody who worked with my mom over the years will understand. She was like a hurricane. You know, her gift was doing things that everybody else thought was impossible. When anybody saw barriers, she saw opportunity. Growing up here in Canada, I was always surrounded by her work. One of her first projects here, actually in Canada, was in a community program in Toronto called Dixon Hall. So Mom, just very, very quickly, was a teacher in the Philippines, and when she came to Canada, her credentials didn't cross over, which is a common story for many. But what she did was she went back to educating herself, and she became licensed to teach and certify in Word Perfect, Lotus 123, eventually Microsoft. And she took those skills and brought us to this community program where she taught single mothers secretarial skills, many of them who didn't have college or many of them who didn't have high school, and they were able to enter the workforce at a much higher level. Okay, so, and this is when I was very, very young. And so she continued to do this work. This work was very, very close to her, helping people become the image of God that God created them to be. This is who she saw in people. It didn't matter where where they came from. It didn't matter, what station in life they were at. She saw every individual as someone who is created in the image and likeness of God. And her mission was to help them become, that person that God created them to be in this world. So I don't know if the video is up, but hopefully, that gives you a little bit of a picture of the person whose video you're going to see. Thank you.
Elvira de la Peña Tan, known to many as LV, lived a life rooted in service, faith, and love for community. For LV, volunteering was never just about helping, it was about showing up, standing with others, and believing that every person deserves dignity, hope, and a better future. Through her years of service with Gawad Kalinga Canada, LV quietly yet steadily gave her time, her skills, and her heart. From 2011 to 2018, she served as a board member, helping guide the organization with wisdom, integrity, and deep belief in GK's mission to end poverty, not just through homes, but through empowered communities. But LV's leadership was never confined to titles or meetings. She was present at community events, outreach activities, and gatherings, representing Gawad Kalinga with pride and humility. Whether supporting advocacy efforts, engaging volunteers, or encouraging others to give, LV lived the spirit of bayanihan, the Filipino value of working together for the good of all.
With a background in education, training, and technology, LV believed strongly in sustainability and innovation. She supported GK's vision of uplifting families through education, livelihood, and social enterprise, so communities could rise not only with help, but with confidence and independence. What set LV apart was not how much she did, but how she did it. Her service was quiet, her leadership gentle, her motivation unwavering. She served not for recognition, but out of genuine care for others. Even in her passing, LV's devotion to Gawad Kalinga continued. Her family's wish to honor her memory through donations to Gawad Kalinga Canada speaks to how deeply this mission was woven into her life. Today, we remember LV not only for her contributions, but for the example she leaves us. An example of compassion in action, of leadership through service, of a life lived for others.
Hello, Gawad Kalinga Canada and Gawad Kalinga Philippines. Tonight we celebrate the life of Tita LB. LB was one of our founding member of Board of Directors of Gawad Kalinga Canada. She was instrumental in all of our projects. Unquestionable spirit, unquestionable passion, unquestionable love for whatever she does with Gawad and Gawad Kalinga. Kami nagpapasalamat because LB was a blessing, not only for Gawad Kalinga, but I think for the whole community here in Toronto and Canada. Tita Elba, kung saan ka man naruroon, maraming salamat. May you enjoy your life in paradise as we celebrate your life here in this earthly world, and especially here. Maraming salamat.
LV was one of the first GK supporters in Canada, years before GK Canada was established in 2010. She and her husband Ed were members of Couples for Christ and eventually chose GK, one of the pillars of ANCOP, to be their ministry. I don't recall how I met LV nor Pichi Cuenca, but for more than 5 years we worked for and in GK. Together with 2 others, 2 more came later. We were the brains and the bronze behind GK Youth Build. In those years, we were able to organize 5 groups of youth to go to the Philippines and immerse in GK villages in Marinduque 2 times, Iloilo 2 times, and Basilan once. LV was committed to helping the poor up to her passing. No conflicts or rejections broke her enthusiasm.
I met Tita LV Tan more than 15 years ago when we were both volunteers for Gawad Kalinga, me in the USA and Tita LV in Canada. Even then, she already struck me as someone who really has a deep love for God and for the poor. You know, she was always coming up with ideas for economics, for livelihood programs, for projects. And she was really a very dedicated supporter and volunteer and champion of economics. In the last 10 years, she has been part of our Click Me team, that's Click Mobile Education. Always, again, supporting in whatever way she can. She even became a trainer because most of you may know, she was trained in Microsoft, and so she gave part of our digital literacy training, and that made her very happy. One of the things, of the many projects that Tita LV would come up with and suggest to us, some happened, like the noodle making, some sewing projects, but one of the things that I regret that didn't happen in her lifetime was her dream for a Click Me community for the homeless in Quezon City. She connected me back in 2017 with her friends Ed Billones and Jerome Koo, who were really long-time community development workers working with the homeless. And she wanted me to help them with livelihood and also with Click Me. But it's very difficult. We had many challenges, so that community was not included in our pilot batch in 2022. So now, God works in mysterious ways. God has brought us many partners that can make it happen. And Click Me is now taking the initiative to honor Tita LV and Tito Eddie Tan by building a community in their honor. And it's going to be called the LV and Eddie Tan Click Me Community. We plan to have it in Quezon City and Manila, where we will be using a mobile classroom that will be provided by one of our partners. And this will really make, I believe, Tita LV and Tito Eddie happy. I'm sure they'll be smiling down from heaven when they see this dream happen. Hopefully, it will be launched sometime this year, and so we invite everyone to support this initiative. I think it's a great way to honor the memory of Tita LV Tan and, of course, her loving hubby, Tito Eddie.
Oh dear LV Lady of kindness, at Gawad Kalinga, Canada, a champion for the poorest of the poor. She served with love in humble ways, and though she's gone, her spirit stays. Champion of the poor, Elvis' legacy lives on.
Maraming salamat, LV. Your legacy lives on, in every community strengthened, every life uplifted, and every heart inspired to serve.
Once again, we want to thank Tita LV Tan and her family for being here. Let's please give her a round of applause. Okay. Thank you, Tita Elvie. Thank you for everything that you've done for GK.
Wants me here, so let's introduce you to our panel of judges.
Yes. Yes, we do. Oh, by the way, maybe before we introduce them, let's explain to them how the judging was done. So, first of all, thank you to the nominees for taking the time to make and being creative, whether it's a photo or video or testimonial from family and friends that you have provided. So basically, what you have submitted, all of your material was sent to the judges way ahead of time. Right, Josie? Right, Josie? And we have Tita Mila here as well. So all the material, we don't know actually. I have not seen how your submission is. No one has seen it. Alice received it, but it was all sent to the judges with clear instructions. So they had to go through all of your material, right? And what happens is, so we do not know what the final numbers are, okay? So just to be clear, we have 5 nominees. There will be 1 in Bayan, okay? And then the rest will be nominees for tonight. But just to remind you, just to be nominated is already an honor. Thank you very much for whoever nominated you. At the same time, I think the best gift that you have given as well to GK is the fact that you actually raise funds on your own to actually we have banners around here to, for sponsorship. We have the program, and we're going to be playing as well the sponsors as well momentarily. Yes, Monique.
Before we do that, we're
Yes.
talking about awards.
Yes, we do.
We would like to present
So before we do, Jeff, can you please come up,
a
please?
very special one tonight.
Can we call on the board, everybody on the board of GK Canada to please come forward? Tita Esther, Tita Agnes, can you please come up? Hi everybody, so this is GK Canada, this is us. So today, May 16, 2026, Gawad Kalinga Canada presents to Elvira Tan in honor of your unwavering dedication to empowering Filipino families and ending the cycle of poverty. This is now presented, Tito Pidoy, to Jeff Tan, Tita Elvie's son. Let's take a quick photo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Once again, for Tita Elvie, palakpakan po natin siya. Thank you. While we're actually mentioning that, I see a lot of supporters throughout the years. Tita Maribel, hello. Thank you. We have Kami po, Tita. Tita Agnes will let you know about our guest here.
We have here, of course, Maripilaines, who's been in GK since the very beginning. We have Margie Nolan, who's one of the very loyal, long-time member. Of course, we have Malu Parcero as well, from the beginning to it. And of course, Marlene Ested and many, many others. Who else? Oh, Mila Sani. Of course! And of course, Ting, the bitter half of Pinoy. That's from the very beginning. And I think also Marjorie, your sisters, from Iloilo, they're here, and they're also very active in GK in Pututan. They have Salad Master GK Village that they really support. And I visited them actually a few years ago. So anyone else that I missed? So thank you.
And if we miss you, wave to us, okay? And if you wanted to, like I said, support GK or join us, we'll let you know in how many years has everybody been volunteering throughout the years, all right?